Konnichiwa. What up? Like the Japanese people said. The konnichiwa part, not the what up part. I don't think they say that. Hello.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Hatechimashite. Watashi wa Velare desu. Dozo yoroshiku. This was something like Japanese introduction. I'm Velare. Hello. And I'm going to show Yakuza Kiwami. Yeah. Just asking right now, do we have donation or something like that?
Not currently, but I will let you know whenever we get some.
All right. Something else like incentives to talk about shortly?
I mean, I did it in the intermission, and this run is going on for 2 hours, so there's probably some spots where I can jump in for some more, I guess.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we start the run, there's actually a ritual I'm always doing, and I'll keep it up because since I'm doing that, the runs of Yakuza Kiwami went amazing. So there's something I'll do with this amazing, wonderful person, which is called Goro Majima. This guy here. We will see him hopefully not a lot in this run because it's RNG related. And I'm normally listening to the Majima anthem, so please, for a minute, I would ask all of you please to raise from your chairs, to put your right hand on your heart and listen with me to the Majima anthem, so we get the best of good luck for this run we can have. And this would be no Majima encounter, or at maximum 1 Majima encounter. So yeah, I hope. Raise, put your hands on your heart, and join me. Majima Kensetsu Shaka! 'Alright, now we're ready to go. Okay, time starts when I select the difficulty, which will be in about 3, 2, 1, go. So, Yakuza...
Good luck.
Thank you. we might need it, depending on what Majima's up to. So we are playing a New Game Plus, which means that we actually are full skilled already. We have a lot of money we might need during this run. And we are already fully equipped, and our inventory is stacked with every necessary and important item we need during this run. So you actually can say most of the work is already, or has already been done behind the scenes. Yakuza, I'm not sure. I think by now Yakuza has risen on popularity extremely since Yakuza 0 has been released. And it's already, or yeah, it's currently even available for PC, so on Steam. I think it should be already known. If not, a lot of people describe Yakuza as Japanese GTA, but I'm not a friend of that. I think more it's... Maybe you know Shenmue for the Sega Dreamcast. Shenmue was more like the prototype of Yakuza, but Yakuza has a lot more of brawling, of fighting, and less quick-time events. So it's more like an action adventure-based Shenmue game way better than Shenmue. And yeah, that's about Yakuza. It's alright. It's even cheap to get on Steam if you're interested. It's about $20. Yeah. Let's get to the stuff I already have equipped, which is absolutely necessary for this run. We have, most importantly, the Beads of Good Fortune. It's an item you can get for achieving all those completion points, and yeah, trade them with Kiwami Bob. He's a white clown standing at the Kamurocho sign. And you can get rewards for when you trade completion points, which you can get by playing the game and doing different stuff like walking 10 kilometers or beating up 300 people in brawler style, etc. So with those completion points you can get the last item, which is the Beads of Good Fortune, and that's actually very important because this item deactivates all random encounters in this game. So normally there would be groups walking around and they would want to fight you. But since we have this Beads of Good Fortune equipped, we won't have any of those random encounters, only those the game tells us we have to do, which is the story related stuff. And well, then there's Majima everywhere. I will come to that later in the game. Very soon, to be honest. Yeah, very soon. So the other item we have is the Elder's Belly Warmer, which lets us getting more powerful when we are outnumbered, which is almost every time the case when we fight, so we will always be a bit stronger. And we have the Dojima Family Amulet, which you can get while doing those climax battles in the main menu, fighting against Majima, etc. And this amulet makes the dragon fighting stance more powerful, so with the Elder's Belly Warmer and the dragons, the Dojima Family Amulet, which will stack together, makes it even more powerful when we are outnumbered. Like I said, it's almost every time the case. And we have a very special friend with us. I will talk about him later. So, right now, what's actually happening? We are playing Kiryu Kazuma. We're a member of the Yakuza, of the Tojo clan, the Kazama family. And we just beat up those peace finance guys who own us some money. We got the money, we got back to the Serenas, which is a bar. Kiryu likes to hang out with his friend Nishiki. And we found out that our beloved girl, the girl we love, Yumi, has birthday today. So happy birthday, Yumi. So we went out, bought her a ring, which this guy stole us just a few minutes ago. Seconds, more like. And yeah, we have to beat him up to get the ring back, which hopefully will work just fine. Yeah. So let's talk about the user interface. Well, the HUD. Right on the top left, the orange bar is our health meter we just saw. And below that bar we had a red one. This red one is our heat bar. With this one we can do more powerful moves when it's filled. And this heat bar is quite important during this run. I'll explain later why it's this case. Right now I also, the heat bar got filled a bit. It's because I have a skill which lets the heat bar fill a little bit. When the first move I'll do during a fight is grabbing the person, then the heat bar gets filled a little bit. So we beat this guy up. We got the info that he hasn't the ring anymore. He already sold it at the pawn shop. Don't know how he did it because, well, he never walked to the pawn shop. If you watch it from the beginning, you saw that he never walked this street, so makes no sense, but it's okay. We wanted to buy the ring, but the ring is quite expensive. It costs 150,000 yen, and, well, we don't have the money. Well, it costs 120,000 yen. But we don't have the money anymore. We spent it to the ring, which also costed 120,000 yen. So we met Shinji there. He borrowed, he gave us the money we need. And we get back to the pawn shop, to the owner, and hopefully we can get the ring back. But no, it's been more expensive. Even you might haven't seen it, because I was too fast and skipped the shop menu. So the ring costs now 150,000 yen, because the pawn shop owner knows we want that ring, so he makes it more expensive. But we only have 120,000 yen. So that's a problem for us. We need 30,000 yen more. Luckily, there's Shinji again. What a coincidence. And he borrows us the 30,000 yen we need. And we can hopefully get the ring back. Hopefully. So get back to the pawn shop again. We might do some stuff like this all the time. You know, running back and forth. So we wanted to buy the ring, but the ring isn't there anymore. But luckily it's not there because the pawn shop owner laid the ring back for us. He reserved it, something like that, and we got the ring back. So we can give Yumi her present. So happy birthday, Yumi, again. So it was a pretty wild party, as we saw, because Kiryu was sleeping at the bar. And now we have to get back to the Kazama family office with this briefcase full of money we got from the Peace Finance company, which we just at the beginning of the game beat up. So let's get back to the Kazama office, but first we have to talk to those two information brokers. Tamura and Ioki, I guess. Aoki. One of those guys is already obsolete again. Nobody remembers him because he will be cut out of the story very soon. So we delivered the briefcase, we've done our job. Now some crazy stuff is happening. Don't worry, I'm not talking too much about the story. Mainly for spoiler reasons. And also because I don't have the story 100% in my mind. I speedrun it too much. And yeah. So I'm not 100% sure what happens all the time, but yeah, some crazy shit right now happened. And we have to check out the Dojima office. Dojima family office, but there's this Peace Finance guy again, and he's got a big friend with him. Someone from another Yakuza. So first of all, we do like before, grab this guy, get our heat bar filled, and do this back suplex kind of stuff. And now we have to fight Hashiguchi, this guy. Which we hopefully... yeah, not happening right now. So normally I wanted to give him a nice and clean tiger drop, which... god damn it. RNG, yay! So normally I would give him a tiger drop. I hope we will see this one later again. So this guy actually was pretty annoying right now. The tiger drop is a move like parrying in Dark Souls. So you need to have the right timing when he's attacking, and this time window is very small. So you have to time it correctly. A little tip for the tiger drop: when you play at 60 frames, it's already it's even a little bit, only a little bit easier than when you play on 30 frames to do the tiger drop. So I totally would recommend playing on 60 frames. Which we also do right now. Oh yeah, we are in prison. Because normally someone else would go to prison, but we said, nah, you can stay at home. I go to prison for you. Because we're such a good friend. So we're beating up all those inmates that are only numbers. And yeah, that's chapter 1 of 13. But first we have to skip some cutscenes. Which is mainly the run, to be honest. It's mainly routing, don't activate any sub-story or stuff like that. And skipping cutscenes. And doing other stuff, which we will see pretty soon. So 10 years gone, we are out of prison. We got released. And we have to find out what's going on in town. Because we've been 10 years gone. And in 10 years, a lot of stuff can happen. Also interesting, we were the only one with hair. The rest was shaved. In prison, but it's okay. Skipping a lot of cutscenes again. A lot of story stuff is happening. And waiting for the loading screen. This game also actually runs much faster than on the PlayStation 4. And it doesn't even matter if it's a PS4 Pro. It still is way faster. My world record, my old world record on PlayStation 4 was 2 hours 10 minutes. And on PC version I was able to break it down to 2 hours and 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. But it's very interesting how much you can break down the time on the PC. So this is Majima, everybody's favorite idol Goro Majima. And normally we would have to fight him right now, but we don't do that. We consume this abstim, which yeah, drowns, removes our health bar. So we don't have any health left. He can one-hit us. This is actually the only fight against Majima story related we can lose. So of course it's way faster to lose the fight. All the other stuff we have to win. There are the Majima everywhere encounters which we can lose, but we don't use this abstim anymore. This was the only stuff I'll have with me for this case. So hopefully we won't have any Majima encounter, and if we should have one, hopefully he's not annoying. So Majima beat us up, this guy saw it and he thinks he can beat up us easily. So we prove him that he's wrong. And hopefully this time with a tiger drop. We will see. Yeah, didn't happen. Like I said, the tiger drop is actually quite difficult to pull off. The tiger drop, I already can explain how it works. The tiger drop works different than most of the moves. You know the health bar I mentioned earlier, right? So the health, not the health bar, the heat bar. The heat bar normally is there to fill it up and do powerful moves that do a lot of damage. But for the tiger drop we don't want any heat. And if so, we want as less as possible, because the less heat we have, the more damage the tiger drop does. And when we don't have any heat, the tiger drop is absolutely broken. Because it does such an amount of damage, it isn't even funny anymore. It's brutal. It absolutely is. And I hope we will see that later. So we talked to this Aoki guy. Need some infos about Stardust, where this nightclub is. We got it now and we will leave. So right there, this girl in the blue-gray skirt is a sub-story. And this run is like said earlier, mostly about routing. Because we don't want to start and trigger any sub-stories. Sub-stories are side quests in this game, and they always start with cutscenes, which you can't skip. And some of them consume a lot of time, so we never want to trigger any cutscene. Here's Steven Tyler, by the way. We get to beat Steven Tyler up. So if you don't like Aerosmith, you might want to play this game. So that's Steven Tyler. Easy, finished. So he lets us now in the Stardust. It was all misunderstanding. Get up to this small VIP area, talk a little bit, and then we've got interrupted by some other guys. And now I would like to introduce you to my very good friend who's very good in negotiating stuff out. So we might have some diplomatic talking right now, some negotiations. And this, yeah, it's a shotgun. Oh, we broke the wrong guy's neck. It happens. It's fine. So, we have the shotgun. And this shotgun is the main item, the main equipment we actually need during this run. It deals a lot and ton of damage. It's amazingly good in crowd control. So we use it a lot. Very... yeah, we lose it almost all the time. And yeah, that's chapter 2. We now visit a funeral. And this funeral has a very difficult stealth part right at the beginning. Maybe you know games like Splinter Cell or Agent, this Agent guy, Hitman. I'm sorry, Hitman. It's actually difficult like those games when you play it on the hardest difficulty, because we have to stealth through this guards at the beginning. But we are speedrunners, we don't do such stuff. We just run through it, and the stealth part is done. So it's quite easy, I know, but it's actually extremely difficult. You have to do a lot of RNG manipulation during the loading screen, pressing a few buttons on the controller. Just crap, I'm talking. But yeah, you just run through it. It's easy as that. So we wrote down a fake name, and we told that we are former Dojima family member, so we can be a part of this funeral. When we said that we are Kazuma, or we were at the Kazama family, we would immediately get thrown out and have to do the stealth part again. So we've talked to this mortician right there. He lost his mooring band, sorry. So we found it right there, but the mortician is right behind us, and so that we found it. And as nice as Kiryu is, he gave it back to him. And remember this back and forth stuff running? I told earlier that we do this a lot. This is a part of it. So we run back in this building, and we see the mortician again and the funeral director, and well, the mortician is quitting his job because he doesn't like it anymore. So it was totally useless finding this mooring band. So we get out again, run to him, talk to him. So right now he's actually talking that he's quit his job. And he throws his mooring band away. So we have to search for it again. Yep. It's like the old Pokemon version in this arena, where you have to check out those trash cans. So in this trash can was the mooring band. We can now enter this part of the Dojima family headquarters, Tojo clan headquarters. But there's this guy, which we hopefully right now can tiger drop. Please give me one tiger drop at least. Just one little tiger drop. Yeah, that was a tiger drop. It's pretty fast, it's pretty effective, it's absolutely painful when you look with what force he throws his fist into the midsection of the body. Like, yeah, sport commentators would call it. He's not hitting them in the balls or stuff like that. But it looks like it, but he's not doing it. So yeah, that's a tiger drop. Extremely powerful, extremely unbalanced and broken. But yeah, it's quite interesting how the tiger drop works. It's amazing. So right now we have to stand right at the middle and take a look at all those pictures. So we want to stay right at the middle in front of Nishiki's picture, because if we stay too much on the left side, we can't take a look like right now. What the hell? That didn't went well. But yeah, we normally want to stand right in the middle, which normally works, but didn't right now. Don't know why. To take a look at all of those pictures so the story can continue. It's just so, yeah, who's of those, who is who on the picture and what are they doing right now. It's like, yeah. This is Futoshi. We will see him later again. He's the boss of the Dojima family. Not the Dojima, god damn it, of the Shimano family. His last name also is Shimano, so he's Futoshi Shimano. And yeah, like I said, we will see him later again. So we negotiate our way through this funeral, or if you want to say it, we kill all those people. They got through all this trouble to make this a beautiful funeral, so why not helping them make it a bigger one? Oh, Kiryu, by the way, never killed a person. So there's this big guy. He's extremely difficult to fight. That I haven't ever done this in a speedrun before, so it never happened before. But it's positive. It's actually great. It's a great move. This backdrop kick thing. So I need to reload my diplomatic resources and shoot those guys, of course. While shooting those guys, we actually can teleport, like you saw. We were standing way far away of this guy, which was standing at the door. You will see it right now again. Making one step forward to hit all of those three guys, and we get teleported to this cutscene in which we throw this guy through the door. So this the shotgun also is there to teleport at some parts and make it also a bit faster with it. So you might not know it, but Kiryu has a problem in opening doors. He doesn't know how it works, so he just slams them open with his fist. And we get to see Machima again and see that he's actually looked pretty handsome in his suit. So if everything... Did we hit her? Yeah. We hit Machima. Sometimes someone else likes to get the heat move. It happens, but it shouldn't. So we shoot all those guys. We talk to Machima again. And then we are leaving the funeral, if we are allowed to. So standing outside, they already wait for us, but we can negotiate our way out of this. So we see Futoshi Shimano again. He's the last man we have to fight. An extremely difficult boss fight. He's extremely hard to fight. It's amazingly... and that's it. Because of the shotgun, which also fills our heat bar with an alarming rate, we are able to, well, slap him absolutely, well, into the land of dreams. And that's chapter 3. Now we are in chapter 4 and we'll meet the actual mastermind, if you ask me. The evil mastermind in this game. So this chapter introduces a new character, which will follow us through all the future Yakuza games. So you can say it's a quite important one. Of course it is, because it's the evil mastermind, but nobody believes me. But you'll see. You'll see very soon. So, oh yeah, while we were actually at the funeral, we were there to get some answers, but we didn't get any. We wanted to talk with Kazama, but he's been shot, and all of those guys thought we shot him, but we wouldn't shoot Kazama. He's our stepfather, something like that. So they thought we shot him, and then we had to escape. That's pretty much it. So I run to this phone station, which is also the item box, and get the Stamina Royale, which we'll need later in this run. The Stamina Royale fills our health bar, which is... we don't need that actually, but it also fills our heat bar, which is quite important at some parts. So right on the left there's this guy sitting. He's actually a sub-story. You can quite mess up when you run as close to him as Al did. So just a little bit to him and the sub-story would start, but I'm a speedrunner, I'm a professional. I can do this. It only happened once. So let's hope this happened during this run. But it should be fine, I'll do this all the time. So, yeah. This guy on the right sitting there is a sub-story. Running back to the bar we actually came from. And I would like... yeah. Let's introduce you to the evil mastermind of the Yakuza series. It's a little girl, at least in this game. And this girl is called Haruka. You will see her very soon in a few seconds. And I will explain during this run why she actually is the evil mastermind in the whole game series. I don't spoil any other game, it's only for this one, so don't worry. I'm also not spoiling anything, so yeah. So this little girl right now, this is Haruka, and right now we have to beat up some people because they were throwing stones at a little puppy dog, at a little puppy. So, of course, we need to talk to them. Very friendly with the shotgun. And what the hell happened with those bikes? Those bikes went crazy. So, we saved the puppy almost. We have to give him some food and water, which normally lets us to walk around the city and buy dog food, a plate, and water. But we actually have this because it's New Game Plus. We have all of that stuff, so we don't have to buy anything of that. And we can continue without any problems. So we saved the dog and Haruka passes out. And right now we have to get back to Bar Serena's, which we always hang out, which we also hang out at the beginning of the game. It's our hangout. Yeah. So right there on the left is an encounter in which we had to fight a group of people, but we're running this way so we don't have to fight them. In this way there are actually 2 other encounters, so we run through this street, to the Nakamichi street, and with that we skipped 3 out of 4 fights we normally would have to do. So right now it's only 1 fight, and you already know it, don't you? we will negotiate all this stuff with our friendly diplomatic shotgun, which is pretty good at negotiating all this stuff and actually has +5 stats against Yakuza. Well, it would have if it would be Dungeons and Yakuza game, but it's not. So we get into the bar and talk with Serena. Hey, look, we found this little girl alone in this red light district, so I will keep her. And she says, okay, so we keep her. That's not actually what happens, but it's okay. So we help this girl and she's sleeping. Why not? And she's awake again. And we have now to go to Ares. And let me show you why she's the evil mastermind. It starts pretty soon why she is the evil mastermind. So we have to run through the Millennium Tower, which Kiryu never have seen it, never run past to it, because he never really saw this big building, which we can't see right now, because we can't move the camera that much to this guy. So there's this policeman, and he asks us why we are running through the red light district of Tokyo with this little girl. And we say nothing. And then Haruka steps in and lies to the policeman. You don't lie to the police. They are your friends and helpers. So why would you lie to a police officer? She did that. That's proof number 1 why she actually is evil and the evil mastermind in this game. Because she succeeded with it. So she ice cold. She lied to the policeman. Cold as ice. And we are in the Millennium Tower right now. There's actually a lot of much more stuff which will prove why Haruka is evil. I don't like her, by the way, if you didn't realize it. She's evil and I don't like her. So we are in this very stylish room which we don't look around. We saw this picture. And then there are those guys of the Hiroshi Omi Alliance, but this guy is called Hiroshi. So we shoot all of them again and slapping this guy like we did previously. And yeah, that's chapter 4. Don't ask me why they were here, I forget it. I forgot it. So this is the hospital. It gives a little bit of backstory to Akira Nishikiyama, our actually closest and best friend before this game happened. So chapter 5, Purgatory. New characters get introduced. But first we have to talk with Date. He talks about the Northwest Park here in Kamurocho, and this park is closed to the public, but not because there's something get built or something like that. It's closed because of homeless people who are living there, and those homeless people are, let's say, interesting because they play a very big role in this part of town. Because you could say they are, I think in the mafia they are called pigeons. You know, those flying rats. Because those homeless have their eyes everywhere. So they are an amazing source of information. And someone uses those homeless for those informations. And he's hiding in the West Park. And that's where those homeless people play their part. So normally we would not be allowed to enter this toilet building. And before worse stuff happens, we get introduced to the Purgatory, to the West Park. In the Northwest. And then we get in the subway, and the subway actually is an underground red light district. for the rich people. And this part actually has a casino, it has a coliseum in which we fight pretty soon, and this amazing building in which the florist lives in. The florist is an information dealer, broker. He deals with informations through this homeless guys. And we want to get some infos. But he only gives us those infos when we prove ourselves in the Colosseum. And we only are allowed to enter the Colosseum when we drop all our equipment. So it's a fair fight, right? It's actually not. You will see pretty soon why. So the Colosseum is hell of a fun. You also have to do the Colosseum super long. Well, this tiger drop didn't work out well, again. Can you please stop? Follow me. So normally we would tiger drop him. But sadly we can't. Next guy. We have to complete 3 fights. The first 2 are pretty easy normally. Well, that was unexpected that the tiger drop works. And now there's Gary B. Holmes. A very difficult opponent because he's very difficult to tiger drop. Due to the reason that he has an odd moveset. It only can go 2 ways. One of those 2 ways is his attacks are pretty fast and very hard to tiger drop. The other way is his moves are pretty slow and it's very hard to time when you have to do the tiger drop. So Gary is annoying if it comes to tiger drops. So we've proven ourselves. And the florist talks with us. He wants to give us the information, but something happens. So we have to save data. But first, let's get our equipment back on. Which is, like I said earlier in the run, the Elder's Belly Warmer, the Beads of Good Fortune, and the Dojima Amulet. And of course the shotgun. The shotgun actually is a little Easter egg. It's the MJM 5655 Exorcist. It's the shotgun Majima uses in Yakuza Dead Souls. Which is it's zombie game in the Yakuza universe. It's actually fun, but has extremely weird and crappy controls. It's something like, I don't know, in Dead Rising, but with Yakuza. And less sandbox elements. Available for PS3, by the way. So, those were the guys who beat up Date because he entered unallowed and without permission this West Park. So we had to shoot them. Date was here to tell us that Haruka has been kidnapped. Maybe she just ran away. Who knows? So he told us that she has, that's what he said, been kidnapped, and we have to get her again. So we've got an invitation to the betting center, which is the favorite place of Majima to hang out and, yeah, play baseball. And that's the way we are going, to the betting center. There's actually the most useless part coming right up, so we have this cutscene. Then we have to move about 2 steps and the next cutscene starts. It's absolutely useless, don't ask me why they did that. I don't know why. So there's Majima again. His knife glows now. So that was quite interesting, that we have to shoot everyone, almost everyone, by his own. Normally if everything would have went perfectly, they would stay together, and we were actually be able to shoot them all at once. So you saw that Majima had a little bit of health left. This is actually gameplay wise. So some fights are programmed that way that the fight only continues at some specific points when a specific health requirement for the enemy is met, when we lowered his HP enough. It triggers the next, well, phase of the fight, in which the bosses starts to glow and do their special moves. And we can't skip that part, so we have to, when we will do this even much more later in the game, when we beat them up with our totally powerful skills, and they normally would be beaten, it's not happening, because they have to change their fighting style, and then we have to wait a few seconds until we can damage them again. That's what happened with Majima right now. So Kiryu has changed his profession. He's no longer a Yakuza right now. He's now a therapist. Yes, a therapist. It's like a therapist, but just with his fists. You will see soon why. Also, there was this Kiryu-chan chant. I'll talk about this soon. But first, we actually going to do a sub-story right now. We normally don't want to do that, but this is a sub-story we can't skip. Which is with this guy, the old man. So, in the normal game, this Mr. Komaki teaches you some extremely powerful moves, which you normally want to have and to use later in the game, but we mostly don't. And also, we already have this moveset, the move that he wants to teach us, because it's New Game Plus, so it's a bit weird. So he tells us the move how to unarm those guys. Now we have to wait because the heat moves have cooldown for a few seconds. And that's the sub-story. We actually will do one more sub-story later in the game. Or, well, it's pretty soon. But that sub-story saves us a lot of time in the rest of the run. Because it's someone who normally, when we wouldn't do the sub-story, stop us all the time again. And this would be pretty annoying and time-consuming. Later about that. So you heard this Kiryu-chan chant before. This is the marker for the Majima Everywhere system, which I think I haven't talked about. The Majima Everywhere system is actually a skill tree which you can unlock, and for the requirements to unlock new skills in the Majima Everywhere skill tree, you have to fight Majima like 5 times when he's disguised as a police officer and stuff like that. You have to play bowling with him and beat him in bowling, most importantly. There's a lot of stuff you have to do with the Majima Everywhere system. It's quite funny. I love it. Some people don't, but I absolutely love it because I love Majima. He's amazing. And yeah, with the Kiryu-chan chant, it's the most dangerous thing that can happen during a Yakuza run, a New Game Plus. Because it let us know that Majima is running around the town or is hidden somewhere in the town. And the Majima Everywhere encounter can happen, which are most of the time extremely difficult fights. He's even more difficult than most of the bosses in the game. He's actually the most difficult person you fight in this game, in the Majima Everywhere encounter, when it's fully leveled up, which it is in this case, in the New Game Plus speedrun. There's, by the way, Tamura. You might all have forgotten him already. that information burger right at the beginning. Yeah, that's much more everywhere. Hopefully we won't have any encounter, which would be a first time during a speedrun on PC. On PlayStation I hit it a few times, but never on PC or so far. So we are a therapist, right? The florist told us about a problem he has with his son, or more like his son has some problems, and we have to solve them. And as a good therapist, we solve them with our fists. That's the only thing Kiryu can do. He doesn't even know how to open doors, so he kicks them open or he smacks them open. So you know what you're up to right now. So the son of the florist is he has some girl problems. He's a teenager, and yeah, he's a bit wild. So we help him get to by beating him up pretty badly and smacking his head pretty badly against this vending machine, so he gets amnesia and everything's forgotten. Everything's forgotten. I'm sorry. So everything's forgotten when we smacked his head against the vending machine, and yeah, that's how we solve all the problems. We cause some amnesia and everything's great again. So that's the B King. He's not that much of a king anymore, because we do the same, and now he doesn't even remember that he's the B King. So he's right now just a protagonist who does his job and is also forgotten in the game. You actually can meet him again in a sub-story and help him, but we don't do that. So right now we get to the Debola. There is actually a sub-story. Those three guys on the right. When you run through them, you bump into them and they try to get some money from you, like insurance stuff. But you end up beating them up 3 times because the sub-story have 3 stages. You can meet them 3 times the same. You know, 3 times the charm. And they try it all the time, but they don't succeed. So the Peking actually led us to the Debola club, in which also the son of the florist is right now, and his girlfriend is, like it seems, a part of the Yakuza, or her father is at the Yakuza. But well, we don't care about all of this, so we just shoot them all and kick this guy right in the face. So that's our first therapist job we did. So everything's done. We've kicked this guy so hard in the face that he also has amnesia. Everything's forgotten. Everything's fine again. That's how we do our job, and we are amazingly good at it, as you can see. So let's get back to the purgatory and tell the florist that we've done our job, and that his son maybe won't recognize his father again because we've caused him some pretty bad amnesia. Well, story-wise it didn't happen, but you know. And after that, well, let's see if we get another job as therapist. I can tell you that much, yes we will. But first we have to run to the florist again. Like I said, a lot of back and forth running. And yeah. Don't have much to say right now at the moment.
Is that like a signal for me to jump in?
Maybe. Yeah, you can. If you have any donations or something like that.
Well, I would like to remind everybody in the stream that you are currently watching SpeedCon 2020, an online speedrunning marathon raising money for Save the Children, and specifically focusing on the COVID response project, which covers health protection education and global coordination for like the children who are currently in a super bad situation because of the COVID-19 situation. And for example, If you donate $10, you can provide a high nutrient peanut paste to a malnourished child for 10 days. Or, for example, $25 can serve healthy snacks to 25 kids living in a rural poverty area who may be missing out on some school-provided nutrition due all schools closing up. So your money is well invested, as you can see, and I'm pretty sure the kids will be very grateful, as well as we are.
Absolutely. Always ask yourself, what would Machima do? Machima is actually a very good guy, but he doesn't show it that much. But he would support it.
Yeah, he would probably donate like 20,
millions
30
of dollars
bucks or so.
So we got our next job, by the way, as Terra Fist. We have to save Date's daughter. So now you might remember why this chapter is called Father and Child. Because it's father trouble stuff. We helped the florist. Now we help Date. His daughter has a quite different problem. She has a boyfriend, but that boyfriend uses her just as, well, cash grab, something like that. He asks for money, she gives her money, and for that she works at different hostess clubs to get the money her boyfriend wants to have. And we have to solve this problem. How do we do that? Of course, with amnesia. As Terra Fist, it's our mission to help. Right now we're going to do our second sub-story and the last one during this run, which I talked about earlier. The guy who normally would stop us all the time when we run past the street, which is a few times. So it's actually time saving. It's this guy.
Cool.
He wants that we pay a fee for passing this street. But we don't, so we fight him. And it actually is way faster than giving him the money or walking a different street. The different nearest street we could walk is actually a different sub-story with a way longer cutscene. And that's problematic. So he didn't want to get tiger chopped. So we do the old-fashioned way. And right now we saved ourselves about, I don't know, almost a minute of time during the run. Because he's gone. He actually has a pretty tragic backstory. He just wants to get some money to buy his son a present. But yeah, who believes that? You don't beat up people for money to get presents, right? So this street we cross right now, the Shichifuku Street East, is actually quite interesting one for Machima. Hopefully we won't meet him there. This is the Champion District, a district full of bars. By the way, Kamurocho is almost one by one the same part as Kabukicho, which is an actual red light district in Tokyo. So, when you ever played Yakuza Kiwami or any other Yakuza game which plays in Kamurocho, and you ever travel to Kabukicho in Tokyo, you might recognize all those streets again. The Champion District is actually a bit bigger, but it's the same streets, the same buildings, this parking lot is the same. It's amazing. So, you actually can look up comparison pictures of Kamurocho and Kabukicho. I love it. So we went to this bar and talked with the barkeeper because he gave us some information where the boyfriend of Date's daughter is. Because the boyfriend and he are befriended. And he tells us that he's actually at the Stardust nightclub. So we go to the nightclub and take a look at that situation. And we will see that the daughter of Date is in a bit of trouble because he can't give him any more money because she hasn't any money right now. And so she almost gets kidnapped. Oh, there's Date again, by the way. He's still a bit drunken, but it's okay. So we shoot all of those guys. Well, almost. And so right now they changed roles. So now Date has been kidnapped, and his daughter is helping us right now. It's Freaky Friday, something like that. Which leads to an actually quite funny cutscene, which we sadly will skip. But there's a ton of gifs about this cutscene. You just have to Google Kiryu door gif or chif, how you ever want to pronounce it. It's very funny because Kiryu opens a door by kicking it. We all know he doesn't know how doors work, so he smacks them open or he kicks them open. And there's actually one guy standing right in front of the door, and well, he's flying through the whole room while he's been kicked through this door. It's amazing. I love this cutscene, but well, we skip it. We could watch it when the scene would happen immediately, but there's some different stuff happening first, so we would lose a lot of time doing that. So this is Shota, the boyfriend of Date's daughter. Well, currently at least he is the boyfriend. But we cause him some amnesia and well, he's not longer her boyfriend. Because he forgot it all. And well, she know that he was trash and everything's fine again. The job of a Terrorist is a pretty easy one if you're Kiryu Kazuma. And because of that, we had two cases. We solved them all with A+, or with the triple S, however you would want to say it. And so we decide to stop our job as Terrorist and get back to be a Yakuza again. The Dragon and the Koi is a chapter which has been way much faster on the PC than on PlayStation. I will talk about that later. There's a lot of times I say that, right? Well, this is Yakuza Kiwami, New Game Plus speedrun. I will talk about that later. So, let's talk about different games now. Just kidding. I try to be funny. Which I'm not. So, we get to renew our tattoo. Something like that. After all those years, we have to get the lines made new, etc. So everything looks clean. And that's the first thing we do. And by the way, we do this. We slap two flies with one fly. Flap? Something like that. Because we have one person has been murdered, a female, and she has a tattoo on her neck, something like that. Forgot how the body part's been called. It's not actually the neck. It's the part between the neck and the breasts, something like that. And we asked this guy if he knew who would make such tattoos and or who this person was, maybe. But he can't help us that much. This chapter is actually be called Dragon and Koi because we are meeting Nishiki later in this game. But we will skip all of this. It's only story parts talking. So right now I'm a little bit scared if we get Machima. Yep. Say hello to Machima. This is the Machima everywhere encounter. He can come literally from everywhere. It's not a joke. It actually is the case. He can come, like you saw it right now from the canalization. He can jumping from roofs right to you like a madman he actually is. He can arrive from a trash can. He can be a police officer. There's a lot of different stuff. He also can be disguised as a zombie, in which he is pretty good in, if you ask me. And a lot of different other stuff. It's actually quite funny to see as what he actually comes. He also has 4 different fighting styles. Luckily we got the Slugger Machima. There's also the Dancer Machima, who can be pretty annoying. There's the Mad Dog Machima, and there's the I forgot the other one. There's 4 different styles he can be. So this fight actually went pretty good. Luckily for us. So right now we got the information that Nishiki is coming, but Haruka went away again. Remember when I said that Haruka is the actual mastermind in this game, the evil mastermind? So she just ran away. Why would she run away? To plan some evil mastermindful plans. So we have to search her. We of course start with Aoki, the information broker, who knows everything about this town. And maybe he can help us. So it's this guy we talked at the beginning with. He's actually quite a little bit useful. Oh, remember social distancing? When I'm running to him, I smash the X button or the A button, depend on what controller you play, as fast as possible, so I can talk to him as soon as possible. So social distancing is also a part of Yakuza. So he told us about 2 girls talking about a lonely small girl running around, and they right now talked about some drunkard who's chilling at a parking lot and also might have seen Haruka. So we run to him. But first we take the taxi and we will pass the street again, which we just freed from this one sub-story. So it actually is now the 2nd time we walk this street, and we will it also do a 3rd time, since it's been freed from the sub-story. Everything seems well. So here, this part right there, the street to Park Alley and Shichifuku Street, is a famous spot for Machima to have a shakedown on us. Well, it's actually 2 people who want to shake down us. No, like stop us, so we give them all our money. And when we fight them, Machima arrives during the battle. You can easily see them when there are 2 punks standing with pink hands. That's how you can see, well, there might be Machima encounter. You can sometimes dodge them when you're lucky, but not all the times. So this guy told us that Haruka has been shown at one of those child parks. Playgrounds. Which absolutely don't look like playgrounds. But it's okay. So she wasn't at the first playground. Or like the first child park. So let's check out the second. By the way, when we have companions like Dato right now, sub-stories and Machima encounters are deactivated. So as long as we have a companion running with us, there won't be any sub-stories we can trigger, and there won't be any Machima encounter that could happen. So it would be amazing if there would be a way to have a companion all the time, but sadly it's not possible. Also, the Yakuza series is very much polished, extremely good polish, so there's no way of going out of bounds and skipping stuff. They did a pretty great job with it, so it's mainly about routing and, well, in this case, shooting those guys. So, Child Park 3. There is one organization which is called MIA. I'm not sure if all the members in the MIA are called Mia, like it's their name, or if they are all just missing in action, which is MIA, if you know. Oh, I don't have any diplomatic resources. Let's change that. So we actually help them to be missing in action, and that's this fight. But that's not a chapter. the chapter is still going on. So those missing in action guys are running away because they are missing in action and they have to do something for that. So they have to run away and hide so that they are missing in action. I said this word this a lot. So Haruka has been found again because she had been kidnapped by the MIA. I'm not sure about it. I think she works with them together. She works together with the MIA. She's a part of them. So why would she else run away and suddenly there's the MIA who suddenly is interested into it? Doesn't make any sense. The only sense it makes is that she's evil. So right now we are walking around with her through town. We have to entertain her a little bit, something like that. And we go to play in a gambling hall. Maybe you know this game, even or odd. It's like someone roll the dices too, and you know, you before he's showing what he diced, what he rolled with the dices, you have to say if it's an even number or an odd number that's been shown with the dots on the dices. That's what we're playing right now. And surprise, somehow Haruka is extremely good in this game. But first we need to buy a ticket, something like that, to enter the gambling hall, which is behind the hidden door, which remains hidden because we cut the cutscene. It was this wall. It is a hidden door. So right now we're playing even or odd. So this part on PlayStation is extremely slow. You lose about 1 or 2 minutes in this part. But on PC, as you can see, it is pretty fast. It's extremely fast. So Haruka says that what we should bet on, if it's even or if it's odd, and somehow she's all the time correct. Don't know how she does that. And so we play a few rounds. We're also just betting 1 point, because it's a speedrun, we don't have time to make huge bets. And well, while we're playing even or odd, it seems pretty odd. What a coincidence that we've been right all the time. So Haruka says it will be odd, but I can tell you it will be even. So she failed us. And now we are in big trouble because of Haruka. What else? Because she's evil mastermind, she puts us in situations in which we have some trouble, or get some trouble. And she's just standing there somewhere in the corner and wait till it's all over. So that's this guy. Let's do the same with him. It's sometimes extremely brutal. So that's this part. We're leaving again. Doesn't help us any much. Well, I think we got some informations, but I don't remember. We also got our money back, which is amazing. So Data calls us that it's time to meet Nishiki, but first we have to deliver Haruka. Oh, by the way, Haruka isn't a real companion. So let's walk a different path. Almost hit a Machima encounter. This guy who we almost bumped into is a shakedown guy. And if we would bump into him, he would start at the shakedown. And Machima would appear. So when you play this game long enough, you actually see how this Machima encounter works. So right now I run the other way because I didn't want to have a Machima encounter in the Tenkaichi street. So to save us some time, I run a different path. There's also 2 streets in which you can avoid a Machima encounter, in which he actually would hide into a trash can. But you can avoid this encounter just by running on the side of the street, because then you have a wall between you and the street with trash, and Machima can get to you, so it's an easy way to dodge the Machima encounter in this part. So let's meet Nishiki, right? Right now we've got a lot of story information. What happens in the past, and what happens to Kazama when he got shot at the funeral, and what happened to all the different persons. So Nishiki tells us that he shot Kazama and that his guys accidentally killed an innocent female, which we just saw for a second right there. And yeah, Kiryu isn't amused about that, so he slaps him right into the face, and for that Nishiki calls his guys and they storm the building and we have to negotiate with them. That's the part extremely easily explained. Why did he survive? That wasn't supposed to happen. So we've finished all those guys right in the bar, but there are waiting much more outside, which we have to negotiate with too. Luckily we have our friend the shotgun to help us out with that. And we hit everyone, that's amazing. So Koichi Shindo will be having some amnesia, so everything's forgotten, right? Now an extremely nice e-guitar solo happens, but we won't listen to it, I'm sorry again. Some story parts. This game actually is, if you haven't known yet, a remake of the original Yakuza for the PlayStation 2, released in early 2005 in the West. So Europe, America, etc. And it didn't introduce Nishiki well enough to the player. But since there's Yakuza 0 right now and Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of the original Yakuza, it does an amazing job telling the backstory of Akira Nishikiyama, the villain in this game. Which in Yakuza 0 is our best friend, our bro, our buddy. But some stuff happened, which gets explained in cutscenes in the remake right here. And it's, well, if you think about it, it's easy to understand why he went a bit crazy and do all of this stuff. It's pretty emotional and amazingly told. So what happens right now when we get to the West Park? The West Park was burning. Why? Well, Haruka has left the building in the park in which they had shelter. But I don't think that there's been gangs attacking this park. I think she has left the building to lit the place up. So she's the evil mastermind. Why would someone be interested in a little girl? Like in Haruka. She's completely annoying. She actually is like the Ashley from Resident Evil 4 because she all the time calls for Kiryu and she always is in trouble. So she actually is like Ashley in Resident Evil 4. I'm sorry for those Vietnam flashbacks you might have right now because of Ashley. But that's Haruka. just with the one conclusion that she's actually extremely evil. She lit the place up, the purgatory, the homeless park, and she talked with the MIA for don't know what stuff for all about, and she always causes us trouble, and she pulls us into trouble. So she's evil. We beat up those blue sea gangbangers. Yes, they are actually called gangbangers. Don't ask me why. I would never, if I would form a gang, I would never call myself a gangbanger. It sounds a bit weird. We have now to follow a scheme, which is how the chapter is called. The scheme. It's a color scheme. We just fought the blue gang. Right now we are going to fight the white gang. The blue gang leads us to the white gang leads us to the red gang leads us to a way bigger gang. It's a lot of gang stuff. So the blue gang lead us to the white gang, but this white edge gangbanger doesn't want to let us into their white edge gangbanger leader. So we just cause him amnesia, pull him in, and well, we beat the gang, the leader up. So he can tell us about the red gang. Because in the game it's explained us that different gangs have emerged together to burn the park and to kidnap Haruka. But we don't know who actually is the head of all these plans. So we have to follow the scheme. And well, the white edge gangbanger told us about the red gangbangers, which are actually partying at the Debola, the nightclub. And we could have a marksman counter pretty soon. We dodged it. So, and the Debola is actually my favorite part in the run is coming up right now. It's amazing. You don't want to miss that. I tell you that. Because it's one of the greatest heat moves ever in this game. So let's get to the Debola. If you played Dark Souls, you might see some comparisons right now with Ornstein and Smaug. Because you have to fight two guys. One of them, he's a little big. Let's say it this way. And one of them is small and thin. Slim. You will see pretty soon. So we are on this VIP balcony. The VIP area. We talked to this guy and we want him to tell his bosses that we are coming. And he's that helpful that he says, well, grab me and throw me down the balcony. Which we just did, and he tell them that we are coming. So he's climbing up the balcony again and tells us that we are ready to go. That they are awaiting us. He's extremely helpful. I mean, would you let yourself thrown down a balcony to let just someone know that you are coming? I don't think so. Alright, so we are now in the normal dance. Oh, camera, please. At the boss fight on the dance floor. We sadly don't do a dance battle, but it's okay. So there's Ornstein and Smaug. On the left side, Smaug. On the right side, Ornstein. And other guys, which we just shoot. This boss fight can be a bit annoying when you play it the first time on normal, difficult or higher. But when you unlock this skill right there, I just did. This boss fight is extremely easy. Because we cause them amnesia and everything's forgotten, and that's by the way, chapter 8? I haven't counted. So the red gang tells us about the Sun Snake Triads, which when you played Yakuza 0 might know from Yakuza 0 and Lau Kalong. You might also know this guy. Yeah, we have right now to get to the sunflower. I always say this. Because maybe I think it's cute when they were called sunflower triads. I don't know. So, the sun snake triads. We have to meet them in their HQ without any invitation. We just go there. Which also leads to extremely brutal cutscene, which we will skip. But to explain this cutscene to you, we will now talk to Date. And with Date, we will drive to a completely different town, which we won't see any much, because we will enter the restaurant, the HQ of the Sun Snake Triads. And right there, there's a receptionist who somehow might remember our face or know us our face, I don't know. And with that, he knows that we are a Yakuza, and the Triads realize that too. So Yakuza hides behind the receptionist, which is getting shot brutally by his own friends. So there you go. Despite this run and the shotgun we're using, Kiryu never killed a person. Well, okay, he hides behind her, but that well, isn't fine as well. It's actually an extremely bloody cutscene, and it's extremely brutal because he has holes like Swiss cheese or something like that. We don't have any diplomatic resources, so we shoot ourselves to the restaurant. And we'll meet a boss, which sometimes can be extremely difficult, and I hate this guy for that reason. Shooting a lot right now. So here's the kitchen. In the kitchen is actually an amazing playground for some extremely brutal heat moves. You can, like, press the face of someone right onto those flames. Excuse me, would you please stop hitting me with that sword? It's pretty dangerous. So normally I would try to get rid all of my heat, but it doesn't. It is okay when we have some heat left, because it also will help us. There's two ways we can fight Lau Ka-Long right now. One is with Tiger Drops and one is with heat moves. The Tiger Drop is more like inconsistent, because sometimes he doesn't like to get Tiger Dropped. Snake flower triads. I said sun snakes. Did I? I don't know. I'm sorry if I did it wrong. So this fight is actually like the Majima fight. We will have some HP left. Or he has some HP left, but which is because of the reason that he has different fighting stances. Right now he's using this kind of spear, which we need to break first, so he can get his swords thrown to him, which we have to destroy next, and then he's vulnerable to finish this fight. So that's this fight. Right now we have saved Haruka, and I will switch from gamepad to mouse and keyboard controls because it's way easier. I'll change because we will now have something like a rail shooter. We are in this car, we get chased, and we on an Kiryu never killed a person, shooting a lot of guys on motorcycles and cars, which will extremely, well, which will explode, like Michael Bay was part in this development. So using mouse and keyboard here is just way more comfortable and easy to shoot those guys. And yeah, when we shoot them, the cars start to burn and explode. So, if you want to, it would be a great time right now to maybe talk about incentives or donations or anything like that.
Sure thing. So let me quickly open the thing. So coming up are some really cool incentives. The first one that is coming up in about 2 hours, a bit more, is the bid war in Katana Zero between the normal katana and the prism sword, which funnily is my run, by the way. Currently there's $0 for either. So with only a single dollar in chat, you can currently decide if I'm going to use either the normal katana or the prism katana, or the prism sword rather. So that's pretty cool. And right after that, we have an incentive for the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, where you can, where is it? It's like a bonus run where the runner is trying to beat the game on the title screen.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Okay.
But the goal there is $50, and we're currently at $21 for that one, so we're kinda halfway through. It's after midnight, so we still have like a few hours left for that one. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, those are like the two bid wars / incentives that are closest. And yeah, hopefully we get that going.
Oh, you
Especially,
know what you have to do.
Yeah, Floa in chat says it's going to be very interesting. As somebody who also runs Skyward Sword, he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, beating the game on the title screen. If that sounds like something you want to see, get those donations in.
Absolutely.
And if you want to see me kill guys with the prism sword, where their blood gets splattered around in the colors of the rainbow, then get.
Now I want to have this.
Just get a single dollar in for that, because currently it's even at $0.
So the run is right up next, right?
No, after Katana Zero there are, let me check the schedule real quick, where we are there. After Katana Zero, first is Prince of Persia 2008, and after that one is Katana Zero.
Okay. So I have some time to donate after my run.
Yeah, Prince of Persia is like 2.5 hours long, so we have plenty of time.
Could be close to press the right buttons, but...
Yeah. Fair.
So yeah, that has been the rescue chapter. The shooting part, which is just shooting. So we are now at the Shape of Love chapter, which is also pretty short. And in this chapter, well, we got back from the snake flower triads. And well, the bar we normally hang out, there's blood, the interior is destroyed. And there's this letter from Shinji, which tells us that they have been attacked by the Nishikiyama family. So we have to rescue them, and when we leave the building, suddenly there's blood on the floor, and we normally have to follow the blood at 100%. So we shouldn't normally run this street right now, but it's a bit shorter. Sadly, we can't skip this part completely, because you have at least to follow the blood about 80%. So right now we have to follow this blood trial the whole time. If we don't, the next blood stains, I think it's called, won't spawn on the floor, on the street. So when that doesn't spawn, we have to walk the way completely. We have to walk back to the bar and follow the blood trail again. So we don't want to mess this up, but it seems pretty good. And the blood trial, well, you might have seen how it spawned right there. We can skip it only at the beginning and make it just about 2 or 3 seconds shorter. We got right now a call from Jinji that he's seeking shelter in a building, but the Nishikiyama family is following them. They are right behind them. So luckily the building is right behind this corner. We don't want to near this person to get too near to this person because he likes to talk a lot. Like, oh my god, there's blood. Why is there blood? And why were there people running in this building? Call the police. You have to do something. Why don't you do something? Something like that. He's pretty annoying. So we are in this building, which I normally hate because I always get lost in it and lose some time. Hopefully it won't happen this time. So remember the beginning when we shot ourselves through the funeral? It is something like that. We shoot ourselves through those guys and can teleport ourselves to the doors in which we smack those people through it. The interesting part in this building is actually that we don't have to fight every person. It is a part of the run to find out which you can ignore and which you should fight. Because if you don't fight them, it doesn't continue. This person, by the way, we can ignore. We also normally could ignore all those guys coming up next, like this one, but he has a pistol and he can get annoying. We can shoot this one, or we could ignore this one. We could ignore all of them. These are, well, we couldn't ignore the one with the sofa. We can ignore this pistol guy. So we actually don't have to shoot or fight everyone. Only a few of them. This was a nice triple kill. Didn't expect that. By the way, if you didn't know, and if you can hear the music, the soundtrack of the Yakuza series is actually amazing. And if you want to hear more of the soundtrack and listen more to it, the Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza 6, I guess, soundtracks are available on Spotify. Almost ran the wrong way. Almost. So just search for Yakuza, I guess, or you have to search for the Japanese name, Ryuga Kotoku. But you have to spell it in Japanese. Or you just Google it. Then you might find some Reddit posts or something like that with the links to the albums on Spotify. There's also the karaoke, the best of karaoke soundtracks from... What the hell was he just doing? There's also the best of karaoke songs of Kiryu and Majima. But sadly, there's not a complete soundtrack from Majima's karaoke best of, which is sad. But yeah, you can listen to that on Spotify, which is amazing. Also, the games of Yakuza Ishin and Kensan, which never has been released in the West, they are placed timed during the samurai era in Japan, which also are amazing games. That was amazingly dodged. So, we're coming to the end of this chapter. We just have to disarm this guy. And coming up next is a quite a difficult boss fight. When you play it the first time and not on New Game Plus. And maybe haven't leveled that much. Because the guy coming up next doesn't only have the crazy, the best, the most amazing boss OST in this game. But he's also, well, quite difficult. Because when he lets it... When he starts fighting, though, then you are not safe. Because he likes to jump around like he's from the circuit. And he doesn't right now, which is extremely lucky sometimes. Because he can get very annoying with his pistols and jumping around and shooting everything and everyone and always hits you. It's brutal. So coming up next, one of the last big chapter in this game. Honor and Humanity. We have to do a lot of this in this part. A lot of back and forth running again. We have to go to Shangri-La, which is our main goal, but we can't yet because you need a specific item to get to the Shangri-La. The Shangri-La is like a premium soap land. And you can only enter it while having... Let's compare it with the golden ticket of Charlie's Chocolate Factory. And we have to get a golden ticket. But to get a golden ticket isn't that easy. So we do someone a favor who has a golden ticket. And who is willingly to give us this golden ticket. But we have to do something for that person. And that's actually giving her a fake passport. So she can leave this town. She's in a hurry. When I remember it correctly, I don't know. Something happened, as it seems, and she needs to leave in a hurry. So we need to get this fake passport. And she gave us, please shut up, nobody cares. We have to get this fake passport, and she actually gives us a very useful tip where we can get this fake passport. And for this we have to get to the hostess club Jewel, which is right there. So it seems like that there's someone employed who does those fake passports, those fake passes. And well, we ask around, but nobody seems to be able to help us. So maybe it's maybe the informations we got were wrong, or it's the wrong club, I don't know. So I hope every one of you has hair on their head, because this game, when you are bald and don't have any hair, the game suggests that you are a member of the Snake Flower Triads. So they entered the building, we followed right up, and well, they, as you can see, they caused trouble. And right now we have to save two girls. The one which, oh, by the way, suddenly snow. We have to save both girls. This one, Club Mama, no, how they called? She's called Mama, so yeah. And this other girl. And they are currently at the children park numero 3. And well, we have to negotiate again. We have to use our diplomatic resources to let everything settle down. So we saved those two girls right now, those two women, and with that they get back to the club. And well, we actually find out that this mama person actually does those fake passes. So she lied to us earlier, but because we saved her, she's willing to give us this fake pass. So we will meet up again at Club Jewel. So you just saw how slowly they started walking to the club, and we have to run. So maybe they use supersonic speed to get back to the club, I don't know. They seem like to be super fast. So we run, lonely as we are, back to the club. To Jewel. There's actually, if you're interested how those clubs work, you can play Yakuza 0 or Yakuza Kiwami 2, which has cabaret mini games, which work like host clubs. And those are actually quite amazing. And you get to see how those clubs actually work and what their purpose actually is, which is, to be said, easy to pull all the money out of the pockets of those who visit the club. Because there's only talking, no touching, etc. You talk with beautiful girls, and they want, of course, to get some drinks, and you want to drink something, and all of this sums up to be extremely expensive, and that's how you get the money. But, well, you get to talk with beautiful girls. That's actually it. But the mini games are quite amazing. They have the bestest soundtrack ever. So right in front of us and on the left there are actually 2 sub-stories we could trigger, but luckily we don't, because I'm a pro gamer. I'll do professional stuff in Yakuza. Because I'm speedrunning it. Yes. So we have the fake passport right now for her, but well, she gave this golden ticket away to someone else. Well, lucky us. So there's only one way we can get a ticket, which is buying one, and they can be quite expensive. Normally they cost around like 1 million yen, which is like, I'll guess, 100,000 euros, if I'm not wrong, something like that. And or 90,000, I'm not sure how it currently stands. So we happily can negotiate. Yes, we really negotiate this time without any shotgun. We can make a deal that the ticket costs us only 300,000 yen, which is just enough for us to pay. So we run to this guy, and he will sell us the golden ticket, the membership of the Shangri-La. We pay about 300,000 yen. He actually was willing to make it just a half of the usual price, but well, we want it cheaper. And we have the ticket right now. So the run is almost going to the finale. Almost. We could trigger one more sub-story if I would be stupid and run on this sidewalk. But we haven't. And we meet Majima again. So right now it gets pretty interesting, so you better listen carefully. We meet Majima at the Shibuya Wharf, or how it's not Shibura Wharf, something like that. It's like, well, it's a wharf, if it's correctly, I don't know. So there's Majima. Majima wants to fight us, but there are also those guys who wants to fight us, and Majima hates people who wants to fight us, so he allows us to fight them, and he joins our fight to fight them, so we fight all of them. It might be a bit confusing how I said it, but it's actually the case. To explain it slowly again, those guys wants to fight us, but Majima is the one who actually wants to fight us. And he doesn't like people who wants to fight us. So he joins our fight in fighting them, so he later can fight us. Might be a bit confusing, but that's Majima logic. He doesn't allow anyone to fight us and hurt us. He only wanted to do it himself. So that's why he helped us. So Kiryu is a friend, right? Majima got shot, he's almost drowning, and well, Kiryu doesn't care, he just walks away. That's how big of a friend Kiryu is. Press F in the chat for Majima. So we are leaving this chapter behind and get to one of the, well, shortest chapters in the game. Oh yeah, right, I forgot something. We have to get to Shangri-La first. That's why we got the ticket. I always forgot this part. I'm sorry. So we got Haruka again, and now we are getting to the Soapland Shangri-La with a little girl, which isn't questionable at all. So the Shangri-La is a building in the Yakuza series since Yakuza first game, or in this case Yakuza Kiwami. The building is destroyed, well, since this game. And every other building in this game gets renovated, gets completely built new, something like that, but not the Shangri-La. And we get to see what happens to this building that it's destroyed. Haruka, please shut up. She's just yelling that we're too fast and we should slow down, but she has legs, she can run. When she's not fast enough, she gets behind. She gets left behind. It's easy as that. So we are right now in the Shangri-La. And it's a video game, right? So we have to search for a specific person. And because it's a video game, this specific person, we will find this specific person on the last floor, behind the last door. It's a video game. So we run about 3 stairs up and run through a long corridor to the last door to meet the person we actually want to meet. Like I said, it's a video game. Coming up next is Majima crashing with a truck right into the building and destroy everything. That's what happens. But we won't see this cutscene, sadly, because I'll skip it. So Majima's alive! Everything's great again. So we leave this room and now it's got a lot RNG heavy. Hopefully we are lucky. So there are those guys. You might think you have to fight them, right? Well, you don't. But they can get quite annoying because they use oil bottles to stop us. So we trip and fall down. But luckily it doesn't happen. Or it hasn't happened. So we can skip this fight by... Well, we don't have to fight anyone. Except for those with the sofas. And that's this. Now we are fighting Majima. And Majima proves himself that he's amazing. Actually, did you know that the original Yakuza game for PS2 had English voiceover? And can you guess who voiced Goro Majima? It's actually quite easy when you think about it. Just think about crazy and awesome characters in video games and maybe comics. This might be a useful tip. And you might know who talked or who voiced Majima. I will tell you who it was when we end that chapter. So you have enough time to Google it, maybe. So the one who voiced Majima actually was Mark Hamill. Even though I love Mark Hamill, the voiceover of Yakuza, the first game, was amazingly bad. So if you ever complain about German voiceovers, just take a look at the English voiceover of Yakuza, the PlayStation 2 game, and you never won't compare ever again about the German voiceovers in video games. It's amazing how bad it is. Even though it has Mark Hamill. Even though he's also the only good voiceover, the voice actor in the game, they put a lot of swearing in it, more like gangster style. It doesn't fit at all. So this chapter is the shortest of them all. And we right now normally have super long cutscenes which explain the whole plot of Yakuza Kiwami. What happens, well, yeah. There's got explained a lot. There's Kazuma, by the way, the one who was shot in a cutscene which we never saw. And he explains what happened to him after he's been shot and why he's hiding and what actually is going on. Because Kazuma is actually... is super smart. He's a super smart guy. He knew that something like that would happen, and he prepared something for us. Or yeah, he prepared some stuff, which also moves to the next Yakuza game sometimes, at some part. So the Shimano family is raiding the ship. It would be troublesome if all of those would be fight against us, but luckily we can shoot them. That's now a little bit a bit, well, annoying that we have to reload the shotgun for this one guy. So they now let the boat explode with grenades. But Kazama, etc., they are safe, and we've got some backup. And now a huge street brawl would normally start, but well, you don't come with swords or other stuff to fight when you know that someone using a shotgun, right? So we have to cause him some amnesia again. Come on. And that's actually this chapter, and we get right to the finale. And a lot of bodies laying around. More story explanation, more plot explanation. There's Kazama again. Rest in peace, Kazama. Because our stepfather in this game just died. So the end of battle, the finale, the last part. Machima can actually ruin this run right now. So RNG Jesus in the chat that he doesn't do this. Amazing! So only one Machima encounter. It's pretty good. It's very good actually. So now the finale can actually start. So about the finale, we right now get some money, so we could go to karaoke and stuff like that. We could spend our money to everything, and the game reminds us that, well, we're approaching the finale right now, and when we started we can't go back. But well, we want to go to the finale. Now we have to fight a giant mob, which is waiting outside of the club. Of course it is. And this mob is quite interesting because it has some interesting personalities in it. I don't know, do all of you like Hideo Kojima and his games? I don't know why you shouldn't like them. I can't talk about them because I never played them. We just shoot this guy. Because one person to the right with blonde hair is actually called Kojima. So if you ever wanted to fight Kojima, like I said, I don't know why, you can do this in this game. Oh, by the way, Haruka is hiding again. So we get in all of this trouble, and she's just hiding, even though she's yeah, she's evil. Just keep that in mind, and I'm happy when you remember. Oh wait, Haruka is it? That's this evil girl, right? That's the only thing I want. Don't have any sympathy for Haruka whatsoever. So that's mob part 1. There's actually also a mob part 2. Luckily they fight wave after wave against us and not all by one, which would be pretty difficult. But due to the reason that they decide to fight us one by one, it's pretty easy. But well, we also have a shotgun, so it of course would be pretty easy. So that's the mob. Let's get to the Millennium Tower, because every Yakuza game, and it's a video game, so every Yakuza and video game should have a climax on the biggest building of them all, right on the roof. And that's in Yakuza almost every time the case. So let's get to the Millennium Tower. Fight against those missing in action guys again. And then we are going to the first boss fight. So here's missing in action again, or they all just called Mia, I don't know. Maybe those are all guys with the name Mia. Of course we shoot them all. What else? There's a lot of them. So why are these secret agency fighting us? Well, remember Haruka, right? Of course Haruka has a father, of course. It's logic that she has. And her father is actually a well-known politician. Or, well, he works for politics. I'm not sure if politician is the right word. I'm sorry if not. But this politic guy, well, he's not happy about some things. This guy always hiding behind this pillar. Yeah. So those guys are actually coming from him. And we also meet her father, well, in a few seconds. So that's the first wave of the MIA. We will fight them again later. Let's get right to the roof. More cutscenes to skip. Now we have to fight the Omi Alliance because they're also there. And we just reveal ourselves as the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan. Which is a big reveal because the town actually is ours right now. Something like that. And we have one of the biggest Yakuza clans in our control. We just shoot this guy. So, finally coming right up. Well, the first boss fight out of 2. On this roof, we have to fight a lot of MIA agents and Kyohei Chingu, this you know what I wanted to say, right? Can you please drop down? Thanks. So right now there are more like special forces. Those MIA guys. Sadly we can't skip this cutscene. So that's Kyohei Chingu, the father of Haruka, and the guy we will cause some amnesia later. Could you please not shoot me? Thanks. So remember the teleport we do with the shotgun. We will do it again. Right there. So we were standing on the stairs and right now we are already at the gate which we normally had run to. Starting the first boss fight with an amazing OST, by the way. Not sure if you can hear it. Let's see how this run, this fight goes. This one actually can escalate quite quickly. I didn't want to tiger drop him, but okay. So those guys can be extremely annoying. Like you see right now, they can hit you like Monday does. Well, that is awful. So yeah, they can let you feel like it's Monday. Because they are that annoying with their guns and with their skills. So that's part 1 of the fight. This fight has 2 parts. We want to fill up our heat again for the second part. So we can't fight him right now. He has this little glimpse of HP left to trigger this cutscene right now. And well, that's... He survived? Could you please not? Oh well, this is going well at all. So... Normally Kyohei would be laying down and be knocked out already. But he didn't want to. So he's the only annoying person with a pistol right now. Solved it. Luckily we have some shots left for the shotgun to make this fight at least a bit easier. So I'll have to say something right now. I'll just might have ruined the new world record right now because of this fight. We were in pretty good time for a new world record, but I messed up. I'm sorry. Gomenasai. So final battle coming up right now. A very emotional one. And awesome one, by the way. Against Akira Nishikiyama. If you know the backstory between those two characters, Kiryu and Nishiki, this fight lets you tear up at the first time you fight this room. You do this fight. It's you could say brother versus brother. But we finished this the fast way. Well, this... yeah, like that. We need the heat bar to finish this fight fast. So you actually can get quite ready for time. Almost. We have to smack him through the door. Then we've got a little, well, flashback to better times. Okay, get ready for time. Coming right up. Have to do a little button smashing right now. Alright. And it's slowly calls time. Missed the world record about, well, 40 seconds. When I wouldn't have that final fight messed up.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it happens. Marathon luck, RNG, all of that stuff. It happens. But yeah, that's Yakuza Kiwami.
Anything you want to add? Any shout outs? Any last words? Anything?
Any last words? Sounds very dramatic. Not really. Well, I want to shout out Deji, who's always watching my streams and is an amazing guy and likes to fall asleep while watching my runs because they are so relaxing. I want to shout out Tego, who's also yeah, a follow viewer and who's actually commentating on the German restream. And yeah, Kisi13, who did an amazing job back in the days through writing an amazing New Game Plus speedrun guide. So when you want to learn Yakuza Kiwami NG Plus speedrun, you can look it up on speedrun.com, Yakuza Kiwami. And there's a New Game Plus guide of KC or Key13, who did really an amazing job doing so. And yeah, that's when you want to see more Yakuza runs. I'm actually preparing Yakuza 0 speedruns in New Game Plus to show you how broken this game actually is, even if it's pretty polished. But there's a mechanic that's pretty broke. So if you want to see that or more Yakuza Kiwami runs or different other runs, I would appreciate if you follow me. I would be really thankful about it. And if not, well, I'm doing 2 other runs this marathon later this night, I guess. Konosuba and yeah, that's it.
I mean, we still have some time here, so if you want to show off something.
Yeah, let's go singing some karaoke. But first I have to restart the game, because if I would let the game run, it would autosave and completely overwrite my New Game Plus save file, which is actually pretty bad, and I have to do all this stuff again. So people remember Yakuza with some weird mini games, right? And there's actually one amazing. Sadly, I'm not running Yakuza 0 right now, so I could actually sing along. But well, let's try it with songs I don't even know exactly. So you have you can actually select between a rocking song or more of a slow song. So what do you want to hear? Maybe. Or does the chat prefer any one of those two? Like a slow song or a rocking song? The slow song I might be able to sing along, but maybe you don't even want to hear me sing. Because I'm pretty bad at singing. So maybe it's right now to cut me off if you don't want to lose any viewers because I'm singing. So, it's a great time right now, or it's a great time to clip some stuff. I don't know. So actually in Premium Adventure you can do all the stuff you haven't done in the main game. So it's very cool. I think we could go with a slow song. I'm not sure. I don't have the chat open, so sorry. But I'll be maybe able to sing along with the slow one. Oh my god, that's gonna be embarrassing. So it's more like a rhythm game, but I don't do the rhythm game. So those are all the songs we can sing, but we will do the Baka Mitai song. Because it's amazing. And it's a meme actually. It has got a meme. So let's try it.
I sing for you.
Baka mitai kodomo nano ne. Yume wo otekizu tsuite. Uzo ga itana kuseni. Waraeanai iga o miseta. Oh boy. I love you mo rokuri banai. Kuchibeta deho manibuki. Nano ne nano do ushite. Sayonara baite no. Dame da ne. Dame yo. Dame nano yo. Antagazu kide suki sukite. Dore dake tsuyo sakete mo. Yugamanai omoite ga baka mitai. Sadly, I don't have any lighter right now to do this. Like, I have a smartphone. It might be a little bit too late, but come on, we can do this. Well, it's late right now, so I messed it up. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's karaoke, and of course, all hail Majima. That's everything I have to say. So please cut me off right now.